Why do I do that every single time? Let's start that again. Welcome, everyone. It'd be so good if I didn't mute myself every stream. Welcome to the Cybotanica launch stream. Thank you all so much for coming, and sorry about the delay. We had some technical issues there, but we're all up and running. And trust me, it's going to be an awesome stream. So finally, we have some of you guessed close, not quite there, but we've got the Cybotanica season here in Crayta, which I'm so excited about. So as you can see the key art behind me, really lovely season. I've been seeing a lot of you talk about how you're going to be already adding it to your creations and such like that. It's a really interesting, quite unique theme, which is something I think we can ask a lot more questions about, and that is why we've got a very special stream for you today. And that is we've got two fantastic guests for you. Here with me today is Lucy, our head of creative art. And we've got Matt, our head of audio.
Oh.
Two really super awesome people in the team who run a lot of the amazing stuff that you all love about Crayta. Really lovely to have you both. How are you doing?
Thank you. Hot.
Hot. That is a good answer. If you're not in the UK, I don't know how everyone else is doing, but we are having a massive heat wave here. And the heat waves we don't do well on this tiny island, to be honest.
No, it's warm enough, isn't it?
Yeah, all good. Enough. Yeah, exciting. How are we feeling with this launch going ahead? Is this one of your favourites so far?
Yeah, there's a lot going for this one, and there's a lot of props in here that I think people have been after for a while. It's a really good theme.
Yeah, I like it too. I think it's a nice sort of, twist on something that you would expect, but we're doing something slightly different with it, which I think is really cool.
I think it's that twist that really makes it. I think a lot of people, when we were sort of teasing certain assets and such, a lot of people, they're like, oh, Cyber City, it's going to be that kind of thing. I don't think anyone, but then some people saw the nature was like, oh, it's going to be more like it's just going to sort of go the nature side. I think no one quite thought that actually we've married the two in that really nice way. Right, let's go. We're going to go and take a look actually we're going to start off in the hub. Let's just get going, I think. But my first question for you, I mean, this is a really great place to start with that massive tree in the middle. What was the inspiration for you for coming up to the scene? What originally inspired? So before anything was made, you're thinking about what theme we're going to do next. What inspired this theme?
So when I was choosing a theme, I have this sort of scatter chart of what themes we've already done before, what props we've got, what we haven't, and what we were missing, and what we hadn't done for a long time was anything futuristic since Arcade City, which was about 2 years ago. So we wanted to do something popular, city-based. Cyberpunk had been floated around for ages and ages, but Crayta is a fairly optimistic game, fairly cheerful, brightly coloured, a little bit utopian. So we wanted something that wasn't just a big dystopian, crime-riddled future, but we wanted city living, city dwelling. So we themed it with plants because it sort of softens it. It's environmentally positive. We wanted to make plants a bit precious and a bit treasured. So we pulled in that mother tree as like the central piece for it, and it was also something that the community were really after, not necessarily Cybotanica, but cyberpunk props to play with, lots of neons and stuff.
Yeah, so it's really like that kind of like one of the things I noticed first was that whole idea of the nature being precious. I think that's something that when the Battle Pass launches, you'll see a lot more of that sort of coming through in the motifs of the skins. You may be able to find them out sneakily already. They are available somewhere. I'm not going to tell you explicitly why. You have to find them. So what was the first thing that really came to life then? So what I mean by this is more like, was there something when you got the theme, you're like, okay, we're going to do this like Cybotanica theme. Was there something that a concept artist drew or a piece of music that was made that you were like, oh, okay, this is the direction, this is the piece, that's where we're going to go?
So we start with like a props brainstorm. We pull in people who work closely with the community, and we pull in my concept team and art team and what have you. And we, I can't remember, but somebody mentioned, because we were looking and saying we don't want it to be dystopian, we don't want it to be too grim and depressing. And someone said plants. Someone said like let's bring that in. It was part of a brainstorm session, and from there, it's like hooking into a good idea is the key thing. Someone raises it, and you explore it, and you push it around a bit, and it starts to really make sense. And then the mother tree was like a big key hero prop, as something that potentially feeds the city, is incredibly precious. It's like the central statue of the city, as it were. And it grew from there. Grew. I like it. But plus the fact there's we wanted city dwelling, and we wanted people growing tomatoes and looking after shrubs and nature cracking through and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Really
I think
nice.
from
Yeah,
my
go.
point of view, I was just going to say I would normally sort of, Lucy's kind of defining the shape of the theme and how it's going to look, and those kind of nice little narrative details like we're talking about the plant. And then from there, I'd kind of be looking at sort of the concept arts, and then looking at which props are sort of being produced, and that kind of gives me an idea, like sort of, oh well, maybe this sort of gameplay, maybe this sort of thematic style.
We talk, sorry.
No.
We talk about a lot about like what period of time is it, don't we? When we're talking about
Okay.
packs.
Yeah, that
like
helps.
Mechanical Revolutions was late Victorian, and our next one, I can't give any spoilers.
We can't tell. We can't tell
No,
that.
don't give
That's
that.
definitely that's
So
definitely of an
close.
era.
But it's
So-
nice. It's nice to sort of get it defined in time. So you go, okay, well, like what are the materials they're using? Like what's it going to sound like? What are the mechanics that they're going to use to make those sounds, and what would they sound like? And I would normally start with music sort of stuff on a pack. So it's kind of, I probably sort of found this thing of, well, it's got to be like a bit sci-fi, but it's got to be organic, and it's got to have sort of natural sounding elements. And that probably happened maybe second or third iteration into one of the earliest bits of music. And then kind of once I've got that, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I get it. It's like I can use like these kind of synthesizers or this effect, and that helps define it from my point of view.
That's really interesting, because I think that's the sort of thing that I would never even know where to start. Like, I'm like, how do you take a theme and be like, how does the sound translate in that way? I think that's something that really interests me. So that you basically answered my next question, was just to ask how did that inform the way you made the music? But I guess the question was, what did you say? Is there anything that's currently in game for the music tracks? We're going to have a look at those in a minute. We're just in the showcase. But was there like a sound that came? What's the first one that you made?
I think it was one of the Poseidonia songs tracks. I think Poseidonia Chilled. So generally I'll sort of do one, and then I'll sort of do variations of it. So like the theory goes is that you could use it for different elements of gameplay. You kick all the tracks off at the same time, and then they'll kind of interweave between one another, so you can get some nice interactive music. But yeah, the Poseidonia one I think was one of the earliest ones that I felt, yeah, this sounds like Cybotanica to me.
Awesome. That sounds really cool about the weaving and everything. We'd love to hear more about that. I'm sure everyone of you experimenting now they've heard that. Actually, I've got a question from someone in the chat for you, Matt. So, Cascarn says, if I did hear correctly, Matt is the head of sound, head of audio, yes. So, if so, are all the in-game songs made by the same person? I always found impressive the variety and quality that the songs have.
Oh, well, that's very
I'm going to let you say it.
Yeah, it's me. I write the theme song and sing the theme song.
He does indeed. If anyone remembers some Cascallions, all the vocals for What Jamboree, everyone's favourite, that is Matt. That is Matt's wonderful voice.
I'm afraid so. Yeah, that's all.
The response to that
Won't
is.
let me sing.
The response from that person is just OMG in massive capital letters. So it's shock. You've got a fan now.
How cool.
Cool. So, what was your was there anything that you looked at externally of Crayta? I guess question for both of you is: was there anything that you sort of saw as for your inspiration? Was there any sort of, you say about a time period, that's sort of one area, but was there any other sort of forms of media or things that you were looking at? I know, Lucy, you love to make a gorgeous little mood board.
I do love a mood board.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lucy, first question. I got to go to you first.
Specifically, no. I mean, there's lots and lots of cultural touch points with cyberpunk, with like Blade Runner, and there's the Cyberpunk 77 game, and all of those. They looked at architecture, looked at really sort of busy, quite rundown cities. Made sure there was a lot of neon. There's some great concept art already out there. When it comes to making future packs, you do sort of end up in other people's concept more than in reality, because a lot of stuff's not been built yet.
Yeah, of course.
But we try to do things with all our packs. It's things that people expect and recognise. I've said it loads of times before, but we do deal in tropes, and that's where we went with these. You want to be able to build the rain-soaked neon city and all of those things. I was quite specific about getting cable cars in because I wanted it to feel like a big space that you could travel across, and the cable cars give it edges, like beyond the travel.
That sort of, that levels to it,
yeah. But specific reference, I gather a lot. I put together a mood board. I make sure that that we get the tone right, that we get what we want to say right, the feeling of it all, that it's not unfriendly, that it is fun, but it is still cool.
Very welcoming, yeah. And Matt, same question. Was there any sort of like place that you were looking at?
There's a few. I mean, yeah, there's a few places. I think the mood board is normally like quite a useful place for me to start as well, because that might have, like Lucy says, it's got gaming, it's got film references, and then beyond that, I was kind of looking at from a music point of view, sort of films like Solaris. There was a remake of it, and all the music's kind of sort of done on sort of nice bell sounding, very sort of organic, sort of pure tones sort of music. There's that, things like Moon, that film, the Clint Mansell soundtrack, which got like a lot of piano, which always feels weird sort of hearing piano in space, but I don't know why, it just sort of seems strange. So they were influential as well. And then I sort of went back to the Sci-Fi Connolly's pack that we did previously.
Yeah. That's a coveted pack because it's like one of the earliest.
Yeah, because and it felt like it could be a development of some of the pieces of music from there, but with an organic kind of a more organic sound, maybe. So, yeah, and then hang on a second, my daughter's calling me. Lyra, sorry, I'm busy, darling. And then, yeah, so those are the sort of influences, like I was saying. And then it's sort of working out, how people are going to use that music. I suppose that's the next part. That might be your next question.
How people are going to use the music. Yeah, that is one of my questions, and that makes the most sense to go to that bit there. Yeah, I was going to say, what do you, how are you imagining people to use it? Because you said earlier about weaving them in and out. Is there something you've done with the creation of the music that sort of like you'd love to see sort of people playing around with in game? Yeah,
that's sort of. I mean, people can sort of use it however they want, obviously, but a lot of the tracks are sort of designed that they'll have maybe 3 or 4 variations. So you could have like an action variation, and then you have like a variation where there's not a lot of stuff happening. You could just be sort of walking around, and then you might have a very sparse version, and they're all essentially the same track, but with sort of bits stripped out or bits added. The idea that you kick them off at the same time, and then they'll all sort of play in sync.
That's really cool. I've noticed that before, is that you always do sort of multiple versions of the same one, and then you can kind of play around with those and change between them, and it can kick into gear or kick out of gear. We've got a nice little guest. Hello.
Someone has a surprise visit.
Hey, hello.
you go, darling.
I'm just in the stacks area of the showcase at the moment. I don't know if you two are watching the stream as well, and I'm just sort of, this is such a side of the when you first sort of mentioned it, I wasn't quite expecting this kind of side of things, I think, because you said about the feeling alive in the neon city. I always mentioned that dark tarmac and such. See, what was sort of when you were like, okay, actually I want to get this sort of more sort of lived in feel.
We wanted to build places for people to dwell and thrive in, and I know, and part of the cyberpunk thing is that it's high tech, but there's a lot of, it's not poverty. We didn't want to show poverty particularly. It's not something that really suits Crayta, but there is what am I trying to say? A bit of a class that goes on in a city naturally, and we wanted to build places where people could live.
It's
grow tomatoes and all that.
Yeah, there's always a dichotomy with these things, right? Where if one thing exists, so does the opposite in a lot of cases. So in this kind of high tech, like crazy, like dense city, there's also the more culturally rich, people dense kind of areas.
Absolutely, and plus the fact shipping containers are awesome to build with. You can cover a lot of space with them. They're quite versatile, and there's definitely a nod to Ready Player One in here, as there often is with Crayta, in that it's very metaversy. So it's giving. We've got the opposite as well, in that we have quite high tech live feed features that you can put in them. You could build a really high tech looking bank for the other end of the city scale. So we just wanted to show a range of dwellings.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. I mean, Jogo's done a really. I don't know if you've checked out the showcase yet. I think you've been part of it, haven't you?
I made a chunk of it for some renders and stuff, and I think they took it from there, and they've done a lovely job with it. Yeah, it's really atmospheric now. Yeah,
it's really cool. It's just having a run around, and there seems to be so much to see. Loads of NPCs keep talking about about the mother tree, or a sort of tree, and I can't find it. I'm feeling very frustrated, but I will find it, I'm sure. I'm just setting up, because I realised some people might not have seen the trailer yet. You might have jumped in, so I might set up so we can actually show everyone the trailer quickly. Let me just double check if I've got it here somewhere. I know I've got a million versions of it, but aha, there it is. Is that going to work? Probably not. While we're waiting for that, let's see. What else have I got? So, easy question. Nah, it's not going to be that easy, unless you've thought about it pretty. What is your favourite mesh? Both of you. I'm sure you've both looked at the meshes, then we'll go into music afterwards.
I've got loads, but weirdly, I think my favourite one is the washing machine.
Oh my god.
But I think it's really narrative. So you can look. When I built a laundrette with it, and it was so pleasing to me. It was so complete. I really like that mesh. I don't know why.
It is really cool. It is really cool.
I love all the street detail stuff that you've got. The sort of like the aircon unit and things like that. That just can, like you say, it can really sell the sort of the city scene.
The greebles, as we call them.
The greebles, yeah.
The greebles? What does that word mean?
It's like the little detail that you put on. I don't know if it's just related to buildings or not, but when I've used it, it's been context of buildings.
It's the lovely detail stuff, though, isn't it?
The aerials and the windmill and the light switches and the vents. The dressing.
I can't get the trailer to play, which is getting very frustrating. But I'll try and get it onto the YouTube, and we'll do it like that instead. For some reason, it's refusing to upload. It absolutely hates me.
I did want to make a special mention of something that really set the tone for Cybotanica when we built it, because it's really important, is that Tak, our outsource manager, he's Japanese, and he built us an entire fake font that is very sort of Asian language imagery, and it's absolutely superb, because it's not cyberpunk without neon signage, and you can't translate terribly easily when it's a mesh. So if we put in a big nonsense language, because we wanted a lot of neon noise without being specific, so he sat down and he created an entire alphabet that will fit together in certain sections, and you can break it apart. And they've all got brilliant names like key and fish, and just like reference the shapes. But that, I think that's got to have a special mention, because I know you put lots and lots of work into that, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It really, really, it completed the pack, that one.
That's really awesome, and I think we've had some questions about that before, actually. We had some questions about that today. And was there any inspiration of where he got the language from, or was there like?
I think it was a combination of Korean, Japanese, and Chinese, but he might tell me that's wrong tomorrow morning. But, they were sort of based on that, possibly a bit of Thai. I'm not sure, but it was deliberately says nothing, but you could make it so you want.
Of course, I am going to try and put this trailer on now quickly. Hopefully, I can get this going, so that we can put that on window. Chrome. There we go. I'm going to put this on. And then we'll play that. We can still be seen. That's all good. Let's pop that there. Okay, let's put this on. Cool. It's playing. Okay, it's working now. Apologies, that took a little while. It's now playing. There we There we are.
Hello,
Okay,
and welcome to this quick guide on how to customize your NPCs. NPCs were added during...
Okay, thank you so much. That was awesome. My favourite part of the trailer is the... what's it called? That ending bit, where it kind of like the music kind of goes all high-pitched. It almost sounds like vocals.
Yeah, like you mean when they go through the door into the sort of room with the planters. Yeah, I know.
It's like, and it's sort of no, sorry. The bit went right at the end. You see the tree in the background, and we see and then the badge comes forward, and then the music does like a kind of like a. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're using there, but it's really, really pretty.
Oh, thank you, AJ. Yeah, that's gonna. Well, that little sting. May feature in something that we might put out.
Oh? That sounds ominous.
Was that cryptic? I don't know.
That was slightly cryptic, yeah. Okay. That's cryptic enough. That's the right amount of cryptic.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's leave it at that then.
But yeah, sorry about that. We had to, the video is a very big thing to load, and for some reason the video wasn't showing, but the audio was coming through. on my screen the video was showing, but we sorted it. We got it. We've got quite a few comments from the people. So someone just say, what a great trailer. Got some questions here. I appreciate the cable meshes. They're my favourite mesh. Someone said. They're really cool, and they open up a lot of opportunities.
I like those, yeah.
They're really nice. Also, the new computer meshes did trigger heavily my 90s nostalgia.
There's actually some sound assets to go with those as well. Some kind of like sounds of like retro computers, like old modems and hard drives and things like that.
That's actually what I'm going to go pop into a new game actually, and just sort of open it. We have a question. What games would you like to see from the community using this theme pack? Like, what are you imagining people could make? Go, Lucy.
I did think about this earlier. I'm not sure. Something where you remember that someone made that cool office game that was really addictive, like that, but souped up with cyberpunk graphic. Cybotanica
Which
graphic.
one do you mean?
That one that came out right near the start. We've all played it.
Do you mean like City Builder Tycoon?
Yes, that one. That one, but cyberpunk, please. I'd like to see that.
All right, T-Bomb, if you're around, you've been requested. That'd be really cool. Matt, what game would you like to see?
I think there's a lot of the sort of visual stuff and a lot of the music and the ambience in this pack that would lend itself well to like a sort of big exploration game. You know, sort of different environments, sort of make use of those sort of environmental sounds. Maybe not a lot. I don't know. I think it's like large, interesting, cool environments, exploration with some sort of thread of
narrative storyline type thing.
Yeah, something like you got to find people. There's an element of threat. You know, there's some element of danger, but there's a lot of exploration.
Yeah, that's
why not?
Some sort of find the hidden plant collect. Oh no, I've gone too far. I've gone
too specific.
Yeah.
Make my game.
Make this exact game that I want. I'm just looking. I'm in a creator session now. I think I would love to see. I know a lot of people feel funny about these games, but something about the wet tarmac, which is my favorite thing about this pack, by the way. I love. We need more wet voxels. I think they're so nice. I want to see like. I don't know if it would be possible, but I want to see a Detroit Become Human, or like Heavy Rain, like a dark choice-based game.
Yeah,
that kind of thing where you could go either way. That'd be really something. I don't know why, but the wet tarmac really gives that to me. That kind of sort of built city kind of, sort of a dark and moody kind of feel.
Yeah.
I'm so curious, this is a question from the chat, I'm so curious of what process follows a concept until it is made into a definitive mesh. Obviously meshes aren't random and take a lot of effort to do so how is it decided which meshes are going to be in and which meshes are not? Good question. Is there a tournament?
No, well, when we have a brainstorm, we rarely don't put a mesh in that's come out of a brainstorm unless it's a repeat of something. And even then, quite often we need bins, for example. It's a bad example, but we would go, well, we've got bins, but we haven't got a Cybotanica bin. So let's make it a Cybotanica bin.
Yeah, we've got the street waste. There we are.
I mean, occasionally, if something is too bespoke, we'll kick it out of the list. Say we like a really like specific statue or something that you could only use in one place. We like tile and kick. But once the list feels rounded out and you feel like you could make several scenes or game types with it, then we put a stop to it. I mean, it's always time is our enemy. Making stuff. We have to budget the time more than anything.
I'm just looking at these names of the neon letters. Tray, leaf. I like this. I like they're really cool. I was just looking at that trash bin as well. Yeah, things like that are really cool. I was just imagining this like tournament style thing where you put like all these different styles for something? Because I know with the concept art, sometimes you come up with different sort of obviously multiple ideas for the same thing and sort of pick which ones from that. Does that happen quite a lot, or is it more often than not you kind of have it?
Occasionally, Jason, our concept artist, he tends to hit the mark quite often straight out of the box, because he's got a background in product design, which I think really helps in this area, as well as loads and loads of concept experience. So, and he's been responsible for really honing the style of these objects as well. So it tends to be we know what we want. I'll pick the design. I'll pick out the design. So okay, we want some music stuff, so we want a cassette player, we want that retro. But again, that can be quite collaborative.
I'm just looking at what were the meshes you said that were your favourite ones? Aircon unit I got, and Lucy, you said.
I said washing machine. I think aircon unit comes from a different pack.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, there's a new one, isn't there?
Is this new one?
There's aircon unit.
Oh yeah, this time I take it back.
You do take it back. And you said washing machine.
Yeah.
Yes,
we
there it is.
And make a small laundrette.
Yeah, we've got some washing on the line and things like that, and then cables and what have you to go with it to make it.
And you can put stuff inside the washing machine, right? Like you could put a little banana in it. I'm just making it big, and I'm gonna see if I can shove a. Actually, I'm not
sure.
Let's see. I'm gonna put a pineapple in it. Let's see. Question from Dry Coast is: have you? Oh, sorry. You go ahead, Lucy. You go. And then
no. You go. It's fine.
No, you can. Look, I put a pineapple in the washing machine.
Excellent. The cleanest pineapple.
Interesting question from Dry Coast that I just saw is obviously we have mesh scaling now. Has that started to change your process a little bit when thinking of meshes? Do you start to think of like, oh, actually, we won't make that because, maybe we could do something better that's going to look better, bigger, or actually let's do this because that could look really cool, small, or like, has that sort of informed anything, or have you just been like, do you know what, we'll continue making the assets we make? And
it's made life easier. In that we go, if we make this, then they go, oh, that would it won't fit to the building, or it won't fit with that, and then we go, actually they can just scale it now. It can be scaled, and what I love about scaling is that people can take objects that were not designed for purpose and make them into something completely different. Now, I mean, people are always very good at kit bashing together.
Oh god, yeah.
Items, but it's a whole new level with scaling, especially non-uniform scale. I love it so much. But it's just made life easier. It's slightly more fun because you go, imagine that massive. Imagine that balloon 20 times the size, or whatever.
I'm doing something that I wish I'd done absolutely ages ago, and I have grabbed the mother tree and I'm making it as small as possible.
Good.
That's what I want. It's so. Look at that! It looks so cute. It looks like a little weed. Oh, I love it. Oh dear. That's really cool. There was something else I saw that interesting. Thanks for answering that one. Have you considered how people scale meshes that it is a feature? Yeah, well, you just answered that. That's awesome. Oh, Matt, is there a tag to help people find your wonderful new sounds in the editor, or is there...
Well, there is an existing bug. So like seasonal content won't automatically have like the Cybotanica tag on it, but they're all under sci-fi at the moment.
They're all under sci-fi.
And I think Slaying does then. Yeah, they say, oh, sci-fi tags need to have some new sounds.
Oh, they figured it out though.
Yeah, so I think it's okay, but yeah, that is a bug. We're aware of it, and hopefully we'll be fixing it pretty soon.
So now that I found the sounds, we asked about earlier about your favourite meshes. What is your favourite? I'm going to say track. I want to say sound effect. Either. What is your favourite sound?
Okay. Sound. I did like I said, I did some of the retro computer things.
Oh yeah.
So, excuse me. There's like a retro computer beep 1 and beep 2.
I love these.
I quite like them. I quite like old computer sounds.
I'm gonna get everyone to see if I can turn that up so everyone can hear it properly. SFX volume. It would be SFX volume, wouldn't it? Yes.
Yeah. And then if you can get those playing, then there's retro logo sound. I kind of was imagined like a sort of, like sort of retro future logo for some sort of shady company or something like that. It'd be like their video ident that someone may find a use for.
That is quite. I was just thinking that it sounded like it sounded like I just turned up a game when I was like 7.
Yeah, that's the sort of vibe of some sort of corporate logo but done in a sort of hazy way. That might be quite fun. And you probably don't want to play them all, but I quite like the planet ambiances.
Yes,
There's 10 of them, and they're each about 3 minutes long.
Planet okay, right. There's 1 to 10. How would you? There's 1 to 10. How would you? Is there a way how have you like graded them?
Well, they're just sort of different types rather than grades.
Okay.
But they're sort of, just imaginary planet ambiances of bits of sort of like mechanical noises, bits of sort of wind, bits of whatever you want, really.
Okay, give me a number between 1 and 10 then. Which one should I play?
7.
Oh. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna have to.
They're quite quiet.
What we're gonna do is we'll put it into the world and we'll turn it right up then. Okay, I'm gonna go to this, and then we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go. Let's see. Can I put it up to 200? Is that gonna be too much? How can I put? What's the highest I can do? Oh, just 1. Oh,
2, I think it just goes up. Yeah.
Come on. Is it gonna play? If I do global, has this one got a global button? Can't seem to hear it for some reason.
Maybe it's a particularly quiet one.
Good choice.
Good choice.
I wanted the sound of silence in one of the ambience.
One of them was the sound of silence. Okay, I played number 1. We can hear number 1.
Okay. Cool.
So that's not really nice. Like, it's also really nice to have that sort because sometimes it's so easy to get really like lots of signature sound, but to actually have that kind of just light ambient in the background, to have that many options, I think is. Oh, that's really nice. I can hear one properly now.
I think, I mean, the sort of background ambient sound is always, I think it's always important when you're sort of thinking of sound design, of having, here's my sort of filler, basically. It's the important sort of background detail that you won't necessarily hear all the time, but it is there, and it just stops the silence, basically. It's quite, it's important when you think about an entire scene.
Definitely.
And then, moving on, and then if I was going to pick one track,
one
probably
track,
the one we were talking about earlier, maybe the Poseidonia.
Poseidonia. We've got chilled, dark, or light, or movement.
Well, so movement has got a little bit more going on in it.
Okay.
And then the light and dark versions are kind of sort of dark is obviously more foreboding, and light is less so. And then chilled is just kind of the standard one. So we go with chilled, I think. Let's try the standard. Standard
Chilled.
Why not?
This is the one I think I had at the start. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like a nice. I can see this being used as a nice This is a good menu music. This is a solid opener. Like, this is the first thing you hear. Here's the game, here's the menu, here's the intro, and this is playing. This is nice.
Yeah, could work for that, definitely.
I know you're getting a 15-second delay, so I'm here vibing, and you're like, yeah, sure. You're getting a little delay on it, but yeah, you'll get it through in a minute. But yeah, that's really, really cool. Oh, we keep getting people coming and posting random things. Do not click on any links that appear in chat, please. Thank you very much. Joico says that Planet Am 2 is their favourite one.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. There's so many in here. Well, I was playing around with them. Where was the one that I saw that I really liked? Cybotanica lasers. I think that was what I was playing with, and I was just like firing them off.
Yes, I did a bunch. I mean, we have some lasers in already, but I thought I'd do a bunch more because you can always have more lasers, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, there's a bunch of them. They're quite fun. There's some flying. There's a flying car.
Yeah, I just pressed that one. Wow, that's nice.
And if you're old enough to remember what an old modem sounds like.
Oh no.
Like a dial-up modem, which Lucy doesn't remember.
No.
My granddad told me about it once.
Yeah.
Do you know what? The absolute shade coming from the two of you. Oh, that second one, that old modem 2 is, oof. It's like both awesome and my spine is tingling at the same time.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So we've looked at loads of meshes. We've looked at loads of sounds. One thing that hasn't come out yet. So this is the 13th. Is we've done this, but we've now got in the future. We'll be having the Battle Pass releasing on the 27th, which we haven't shown anyone really anything from. They've sort of seen maybe a couple of the outfits and such. But what do you think people will be most excited for from the Battle Pass? Is there anything in particular that you're like, oh, we've outdone ourselves this time, or?
Well, the outfits are awesome. This pack is so cool, without a doubt. But we've started working with a company who are doing our drone trails, and they're the same guys that are doing the new particle effect system for us. They are so
yes,
good.
That's what we need to do.
And they've done some spectacular drone trails, very, very cool as well. It's all great. I'm not gonna obviously. But yeah, outfits, drone trails are probably some of my favourites, I think.
Matt, have you had a look at anything you've seen that you think that people?
Yeah, like Lucy says, the outfits look amazing. They're very, very cool. From my point of view, from a sound point of view, there's the kind of normal things that you'd expect. The things that I always enjoy working on are the dance emotes, and there's a particularly fun one that's going to be for this Battle Pass as well. They're always fun to work on because it's kind of like, it's to animation and it's kind of like a nice short loop, and you can try and make it sort of catchy and fun at the same time.
Something that not many people know about the emotes is that quite a lot of them are actually we've started mocapping on some of them, haven't we? I believe.
Yeah. We get Alan in the suit, and then we throw things at him and dodges them, catches them.
So
that's how it's made.
That's how it's made.
That's how the sausage is made.
Shout out to Alan. Yeah, if you didn't know that, we get our lovely Alan in a lovely little mocap suit, and he dances around for us.
Some of them are hand keyed by Michael, our animator. He's super talented at those. Everyone's just does such a great job. We've really found our groove now.
Oh, that's awesome.
The last 2 years.
I'm just gonna
2 years. 4 years.
4 years. You had to double it, and then. I'm just going to play around with this fire effect as well. And there is going to be a showcase coming. I'm not sure. I thought it might have been out by now, but I can't see it. There will be a showcase coming out made by Adam, who works on the hub, and he'll show off what is possible on there. But if you haven't seen already, it's 2 new effects. You just said, Lucy, so they've come from the new people who've been doing the drone trails, because they did the drone trails for Scallions, right, as well, those beautiful coins and such like that, which people really love. So they've been doing these as well. Obviously this fire one, I'll be honest with you, it is the thing that everyone's talking about the most in Discord and such like that. It seems to be people are going crazy that they can now do this. I think Steam was one thing. So was that kind of, have you known for a while that you'd be fire, or did Steam was such a success and you were like, okay.
No, we've got a whole plan to basically replace what is in the particle effect library, because a lot of it is some generic stuff that we brought in because we didn't have the time or the budget, the scope to make particle effect. So we basically brought loads in, and they weren't UGC-able. And the whole point of Crayta is that you put the power in the hands of the creator and you give them options to make it into what they want it to be. So with these effects, we wanted particle effect systems to be really, really hard to master, and they're very easy to lose control of. Whether it's like your effect stops looking natural, or whether you
Oh, that's happened to me. So I'm like,
your
I'll
frame
just play
rate.
around with this and throw up a thing, and the next thing I know, I'm like, what have I done?
Yeah, and you can end up like killing your frame rate and killing your game with them. So what we've done, we've worked with an brilliant outsource company, and they've made us effects. So we've got a basic mode which will do all the heavy lifting behind the scenes. If you scale up, if you make it, you want to make it faster or bigger, it will adjust things in the background for you so that it doesn't look wrong. So everything you do in there, and then in the nature of the Crayta editor, which has a basic and an advanced mode, you have an advanced mode so you can really get into the detail and make some really spectacular, different looking effects with just one effect. And then you can template those out and share them with the community. I believe, but that's certainly the intention. So basically, one fire effect, you can now do a million things.
Yeah.
So hopefully the effects library will look smaller, but have a lot more power in it. And plus the fact we've stylized it to Crayta now, rather than sort of bringing stuff in from a library that wasn't designed for Crayta's look and feel.
I'm like playing around with this so much. Yeah, I mean, I'm like having a great time with this. Like, I'm making, I've made like a circle. I've made like a beam of light. Like,
yeah. Well, we I think we're trying to do some mist and dust coming soon. We've got we want to do water. As soon as we can get to it. They take time. They are complex. And there is a lot going on under the hood with these particle effects. So.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Okay.
We didn't just want to like introduce everyone like to the equivalent of Niagara, which is incredibly difficult to master.
The what and the what? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Niagara is Unreal Engine's particle system. Particle system, and it is very powerful.
You say those words, and everyone thinks water's coming, and it's all gonna be.
Not for a while, because water is going to be as hard as fire was, I suspect.
Water is, there's so many games dedicate their entire thing to just water, don't they? We're already getting people saying leaks. Is this leaks? Are we hearing things?
Just plan. Just think direction I'd like to take with it. Nothing is promised, but we are trying to make all of these things because we think particle effects will have a huge impact on the visual quality of a lot of games.
Yeah, awesome. I'm trying to think what I want to sort of play around with now that we've done this. So we're just coming to the end of having our lovely time with you both. I just wanted to offer it out now, just if anyone in chat, we'll have a little bit more, like 5 minutes or so. But any more questions in chat would be really, really awesome from you. I've sort of got through quite a lot of them so far. Just double checking I haven't missed any. Yeah, was there anything that you sort of wanted to talk about at all, either of you, while we're sort of seeing if any more questions come through? As that you specifically wanted to point out in this season that you're like, take a look, like something like, is there a little hidden thing you're like, oh, keep an eye out for this, or like some details on something that you're like really want people to see?
Just put me on the spot.
Oh, sorry, I didn't send you that question before, did I?
I've got something. I can go.
Go
for
on, Matt. Go on.
So one of the things I was doing, like I mentioned earlier, that the sci-fi colonies was kind of the sort of starting point for some of the music for this pack itself. What I did is take some of the existing sci-fi colonies music and then like completely remix it. So if you're paying attention, you might be able to listen to a bit of sci-fi colonies and hear a particular melody, and then hear the Cybotanica version of it in this current pack. Because I felt that it was a bit of it could be like an evolution almost of the sci-fi colonies. They could have, gone from their colonies and then maybe they found a planet with some plants on it. Does that work?
That does work. That's cool. Yeah, it's like the future of sci-fi colonies. Like, because sci-fi colonies was kind of like near future. Like, we've just colonized Mars. Like, we've got our first space colony like on Mars. Like, we've kind of gone to another planet. Whereas this one's more like, okay, they've gone to another planet. How is where we are now sort of gone to? So yeah, no, I see it. I think that works.
Okay. It's the future of the future and what the music may sound like in the future of the future. If that's not too, distant.
I like that there's overlap, though. I think that I like tying these things together. It's nice.
Lucy, did you ever think about what asset, like anything?
Oh no, not really.
No, okay, no worries.
Sorry, no, I did. Well, I'm glad you got the cable car out, because that's the one that I pushed for, because Tack, God, he is just brilliant at doing templates and kits that work together. So he, like, staircases, any spiral staircases you see in the game, months, not months, but like it's a lot of effort to make those things click together and work together. And when I said, "Can I have a cable car system?" he just went, "Oh no." And I said, "But I think we really need it, because it's clean travel, and that's part of the whole environmental story.
Yeah.
And it's that thing that means it goes beyond its borders."
Yeah, I'm just travelling back to the hub because I know there's one working in the hub above the thing, so I just wanted to get that out. Yeah, and there's lots of like curved bits of the cables as well, isn't there? Like, there's so many different shapes and
the noise, the cables that you're looking at underneath at the bottom there, they are. Oh, I don't know. I'm 15 seconds behind.
You are 15 seconds behind. I do apologise. Yeah, I'm about to rush over to the hub.
But yeah, that's it. Really. Cable car's brilliant.
No, cable cars are really, really cool. A couple of questions before I let you both go and have your evenings. The sounds are so well made that playing with its pitch, you can actually almost create new ones. Is that kept in mind when you make them?
To an extent, yeah. They're recorded at sort of quite a sort of high level of fidelity. So, if the initial recording was quite sort of poor, if I'd used, I don't know, like a sort of 1990s phone with a crappy microphone on it to record the sound, and then you pitch that down, you'd suddenly start to hear a lot of artifacts on the sound. So that is a consideration, i.e. to begin with they're like high quality, so you can pitch them down and they'll still sound relatively okay, and pitch them up and vice versa. So but yeah, they're not, it's not so much that it's only from a quality point of view that allows them to then be pitched around.
Kind of like follows on from the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the next question is, hey Matt, what's your favourite sound from the next season? The cheek. No answering. Don't you dare answer.
I can't. I'm not allowed to say, am I? No, I'm not allowed.
No, you're absolutely not allowed to say. Well, yeah, I'm not going to keep you any longer. There's so much to talk about in this. I was like, I'm going all over the place there. But I think it's really, really awesome to hear from both of you about like how the sort of process with making this, and the sort of things going on with the sound assets. And if you do have any more questions, a question you haven't been answered, or if you are watching this back in the future and you're like, oh God, I wish I was there, I had a question for them, do let us know on Discord, and I can obviously send that over and see if either one of you two have a good answer for that. If you don't have one, I will ignore you. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, a massive thank you to both, and really, really, really must, round of applause, this asset, and obviously it's a team effort, but you both have a huge hand in what happens and what is created within Crayta, and it is a real, real, real success, has always been, and this one in particular is no what's the word I'm looking for?
No exception?
No exception, thank you. My brain just went, fully just imploded in itself. This is no exception, so thank you both so much for all the work you do, and yeah, I can't wait to see what everyone makes of all the stuff you've made.
Yeah, that's the most exciting thing, isn't it? It's like and the level of quality on the stuff that's being made at the moment is absolutely mind-blowing. So when you and I think that this next pack, this current pack, I'll stress, with the with the effects, with scaling and everything, I think it's going to look amazing.
I completely agree. I can't wait to see what people put together.
It's going to be really cool. I think the scale is off the chart now, and like now introducing new packs and with mesh scaling, it's just a double whammy. And these new effects are just gonna. I can't wait to see people making flaming portals and all this sort of thing.
Setting fire to the mother tree.
Setting fire to the mother. Not what in the Avatar. Cool. Well, I'll let you both go. You are more than welcome to go and hang up and take care. And we're going to play a little bit of games for a couple bit more. And I will speak to you both soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your evening.
Take care, mate.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Awesome. Let's get that. So, isn't it awesome to speak to them both? It's really, really cool to have people like that on stream. Their time is so precious. So, yeah, huge thank you to both of them for joining us. It's really cool. And like I said, if you've got any more questions, obviously there's so much to go through. I was sort of trying to listen actively whilst doing things on stream at the same time and get things out. It was kind of difficult to do both at the same time after I wanted to make sure I wasn't just sort of moving on through a while of questions. But I hope that was useful. Please, now that I'm here, you let me know if there was anything that I didn't quite ask and you would like me to sort of go through. What you want me to check? What you want me to, something you want me to play with? I'm not sure what you want to do, but I'm thinking. Oh! I just hiccuped. That was intense. I actually put on some makeup today to kind of match with the colours of the season. But I didn't really. There. But yes, they are legends. I never thought I would see on live someone that's part of the back end. That's so cool. We have had that before in past. We tried to do it during season launches. So during Mechanical Evolution, we had Lucy spoke about the gentleman Tack, who had designed the cable cars, made them when they snapped together in the languages. He was on for our Mechanical Revolutions launch stream, and I believe for Strength and Sorcery. Who did we have on for Strength and Sorcery? I think it was just publishing team for that one. But yeah, we have been trying to. No, we had Jason. We had Jason on. Or was that for? Yeah, for Strength and Sorcery. We had the lovely Jason, who's the concept artist and such. So we do try to bring people on, and I really hope that you appreciate it. And thanks for all your questions. Yes, small thing that we've added is that actually this was meant to be for Cursed Galleons. I think we were having a couple of bugs that we needed to fix first, which we've now fixed. So now we've got NPCs here to show off the outfits, which is really, really cool. It's something we've wanted to do for a while, but it really does show off exactly what it looks like. And I think it's quite exciting. But yeah, I mean, if you want more people to be on and such, that would be really, really, really cool. I want to go back into that create session just quickly. Are still there pirate flags in your background? Pirate flags on my background? Oh, it's because I'm on a different one. It's because I've got like so many different things. Sorry, I've got an old one here. I've also got the 200k game jam in the corner rather than the other one. So I'll add. There you are, look. Leave me alone, okay? It's been a long day. I've had a lot to sort out. I'm very stressed. So, something I'm going to do here is go sun intensity down. I really wanted to have a look at these quickly. We are going to play some games as well, but I wanted to go I wanted to go Cybotanica, and I wanted to go lighting. I love these so much. Here they are. If anyone's not seen these yet, do take a look. They are my new favourite meshes. I wish I'd spoken about them with Lucy, but I didn't want to keep them on too long. But yeah, I really hope that was interesting for you all, and you got all sort of questions asked. We didn't talk about the awesome graffiti stickers, which are new. We didn't. If you have any questions about them, let me know, and I can sort of ask about those too, and see if there's anything that they would like to say. About what they kind of did. We should have done that really, because we could have prodded about future sprays and such, couldn't we? Damn it. Okay, let's play some games. Let's see. Have we got anything that we want to play today? Not so that recently updated. We'll just play one or two. That's what I'm feeling. Or should we just run around the showcase and try and find the tree or something? Should we do that? Yeah, let's do that, because I feel like that's more fun. You'll notice that the Cursed Galleons thing is still the one that's on the thing as well. Let's see. If I can go like this. Perfect, that should change in a minute. There you go. Haha! I covered it. Right, so let's talk to a few people. Did you visit the stacks yet? It's where I live. It's a cool place. We don't have much, but we share everything. You get that from the other end and go ask to safeguard. Okay, thank you. I want to know if there's secrets. I love the music in here. Let's talk to this lovely lady over here. Check out the robot. They just got something with me, Jones. She should definitely let go. Oh, hey, friends. I love the Ferris wheel. I love that blend of Neon Coast with this season. It's really cool. This city is just so awesome. Joko did a really nice job. Let's go to the stacks again. My eyes went wide when I saw the lightning mission. I thought they were just platforms. They are really awesome, those. Dumb names. Wait, what's she saying? Let's start again. Welcome to the stacks. It's a dumb name. This is her, real community. Continue forming like it. I hope you meet her. But we still haven't found the tree. See, she just keeps saying we still haven't found the tree. I wanna know where the tree is. I love these little like areas with like little setup. So cute. It is so cute. Can I go this way? Ah, not the invisible walls. Here's the form of life. We love her. I also love these like lines of cables going out from her and the... Oh, it just looks so good. There's more colours of neon tubing if we haven't noticed already as well. Where's the way I need to go? I can't remember now. Do I just need to climb? Is that what it is? Because there's the area down there. I want to find this tree. I know there's an issue with those at the moment where you can't get into them. Or is he just like sending me on a wild goose chase so that I can't? Love this. I love him being in the bin. It's really funny. Ooh. Wait, was that where I just was? No. Was that really a full circle? Oh damn it, it was. Okay. I think I am going to leave it there. I was going to play a game with you all, but I think it is well worth it. We've had a lot of talking, a lot of really awesome information there, and I think it'll be good to save stuff for another stream today. Thank you all so much for coming along. Like I said, I really hope that was helpful, and please let us know if you'd like more of that in the future, of us getting people from inside the dev team to come join us on stream. Sending our love to Matt and Lucy. And thanks for their time. Awesome. obviously we've got the we've got so much happening at the moment. So as well as the launch of Cybotanica, you've also got the Mega Game Jam going on. So you've got new assets now. You've got new creation assets. You can absolutely feel free to start using these in your jam entry. Obviously, you've only got a little bit less, a little bit of time left. So you know. Oh my god, it's been a long day, everyone. But yeah, feel free to use them in. Don't feel like you're cheating because you've got new assets now. Absolutely get those into your Mega Game Jams. I hope they're going well. You have only got until... You've only got a few days left, haven't you? To the 18th, right? Yes! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days left. 4 days left. I don't know. Math is bad for me. Start thinking about, you know, making sure that they're easily understandable, they're bug-free, they've got a nice tutorial, the difficulty ramps up. If a tutorial doesn't make any sense. Very exciting. But yeah, please do play around with all the assets, all the sound, all the effects with the fire. And the battle pass will be coming in 2 weeks, bringing sprays. As both of them said, the outfits are really exciting, and the drone trails are next level, working with that team who did the fires. So yeah, thank you so much for coming along. I am exhausted and I'm going to go lay down for a bit. So thanks team. Oh no, I literally wore eyeliner for you. I'm such a nice person. Take care everyone, and I will try and play the trailer again at the end. Bye.